What's good, y'all? It's the Doomachat to react, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell.
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
What better way to talk about a country than by having someone from the country? Everybody say hi to Mr.
Bassoon. It's nice to meet you guys today.
So before we begin, anything you want to say to all your Nigerian subscribers out there?
Hey, waiting day, my people.
Waiting
So
day.
Nigeria is made up of 36 states and one federal capital territory, and their own nicknames as well. You can even see the nicknames on the license plates.
Since the country has over 400 ethnic groups and 450 languages, in the 90s under Sani Abacha, the government decided to sort of lump the states into 6 geopolitical zones.
So these zones don't have any actual legislative power, but rather they're areas where the majority of the inhabitants have some degree or similar ethnic relations or common political history.
So in this video, we will go by the state, by the region first, and starting with the Southwest region.
Sometimes this region is known as Yoruba land, and the Yoruba subgroups predominantly inhabit this area.
And you are Yoruba, right?
I am Yoruba.
Ekiti, capital, Ado Ekiti, largest ethnic group, the Ekiti. Nickname, the land of honor and integrity.
Land of hills. And it's kind of like a very important place for the Yoruba people because the people here claim to be descendants of Oduduwa, the father of the Yoruba people.
And here they have like 4 local main monarchs known as Owas. Probably the most famous sites would also be the Arinta waterfalls and the Ikogosi warm spring.
Lagos, the state, not the city, although the city is in the state. The capital is called Ikeja. The nickname is the center of excellence.
So this is the smallest state in area, yet the most populous. So
Right.
Lagos actually used to be the capital of Nigeria until they made the new one, Abuja, in 1991. It's like the economic and cultural hub for Nigeria.
It's also the largest city in the entire country and the largest city in all of Africa. So although it's predominantly Yoruba, Nigerians of all ethnic backgrounds move and live here, as well as international people as well.
So it started as a simple fishing village under the Benin and Oyo empires and kingdoms, and then it became its own kingdom for a short time. You guys even have like Nollywood.
Yeah,
Industry.
when it comes to music or the film industry, Lagos is literally the epicenter for that.
All Africans, like they watch what you guys do.
Fact.
Ogun, which is where your mom is from.
Yes.
Yay.
The capital of Ogun State is Abeokuta, and it's nicknamed the Gateway State.
It's also sort of like the metal state, as they are also named after the Yoruba deity Ogun, which is the god of metalworking. Which makes sense because why?
Well, they're the second most industrialized state after Lagos, and they specialize in metal processing. And it's also known for Olumo Rock. So this was very important for the Egba people during the tribal wars.
It's a cool looking rock.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And it produces a lot of famous people, like Wole Soyinka, who won the Nobel Prize.
Ondo, capital Akure. The nickname is the Sunshine State.
So this is like the fun rock climbing and beach state. They're also known for the Idanre Inselbeg Hills, which is the highest point in western Nigeria. And on the coast, they have the wonderful sunny beaches.
It was a Yoruba kingdom ruled by a monarch called Adeji.
And they're heavily involved in the petroleum industry, as well as asphalt mining. Oshun, which is where my family's from. The capital is called Osogbo. The nickname for this state is the state of the living spring and land of virtue.
And it's famous for
The Oshun Osogbo Festival in August in the Oshun Osogbo Sacred Grove. It's a very traditional, belief-honored state.
basically statues and figures of the Orisha or deities of traditional Yoruba religions are set up by the rivers. It looks really cool.
And people also make pilgrimage to the Oshun Temple and the Oshun River, which is said to be the birthplace of the fertility goddess Yemoja.
Oyo!
The capital is Ibadan.
Nicknamed the Pace Setter State. Actually, we have one of our subscribers to explain. Take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Tommy and I'm originally from Oyo State. So here are my fun facts about my home state. It's home to some of the oldest cities and towns stemming back to the ancient Oyo Empire, which once ruled in the area. The capital city of Oyo State, Ibadan, is home to the first university in Nigeria, which is the University of Ibadan. Ibadan is also home to the first television station in Nigeria, that's NTA Ibadan, which is still broadcasting today. And it's home to the first skyscraper in Africa, which is Cocoa House. I hope if you get the chance to visit Oyo State that you really enjoy it. It's a beautiful state, it's a beautiful country, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Now we reach the North Central Geopolitical Region, or the Confluent.
Okay, that was a lot to take in. I think out of all of Nigeria, I think this is the region that we know most about.
Right.
Because we will often get into in our requests, do this, do the north. Everybody don't live down there, do the north. So I think we have covered a lot of this region on our channel.
Yeah.
So if you're a part of the other places, send your request in so we can learn about you.
Yeah, and some cool facts that he's dropping. We also learned this together from various videos that you guys sent in. So it's kind of cool to get a recap and just to be knowledgeable that half of this information that so far half of it that he's talking about we're up to speed with.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing.
And so, our bridge region. This is like where people slowly go from Yoruba land into Hausa land.
Yeah.
And the first one?
Benue. So the capital of Benue is Makurdi. It's nicknamed the food basket of the region as it's a heavily agrarian state and named after the second river in Nigeria, the Benue.
Now, although there are a lot of ethnic groups, the Tiv are the largest ones here, known for their famous black and white striped attire resembling zebras. And they're also well known for their performing arts. There's this performance right here
Seen
that
them.
uses masks and puppetry.
They have a traditional monarch
yeah.
known as the Tortiv, and today's James Ayatse is the current monarch.
The Kogi state, capital is Lokoja, nicknamed the Confluent state as it lies right at the confluence of the Niger and Benue rivers.
And just like the rivers, it's also like a confluence where a lot of these cultures meet. From the western part, you have the Yoruba people, and from the eastern side, you have the Igala and the Ebira peoples and their subgroups.
It's home to the former Nupe kingdom, the Sokoto Caliphate, parts of the Igala kingdoms, and today you can even see the old sites from each of these kingdoms and empires.
So next up, we have Kwara. The capital is Ilorin, nicknamed the State of Harmony.
Now this place has a lot of famous nature sites. We got like the Owu and Era and Omola waterfalls and the Imole Boja rock shelter.
And the traditional Yoruba customs are still heavily practiced in this region, like the Awon mass wedding, and they have the largest collection of soapstone images in the world.
Nasarawa,
Yo,
capital Lafia. Nickname is the home of solid minerals.
So this is a sparsely populated yet diverse state with 25 ethnic-linguistic groups.
So as the nickname alludes to, there are lots of artisanal mines here, and many of them either produce bauxite, barite, and salt. There's even the salt village of Kayana that produces naturally iodized salt from the nearby lake.
And they're also famous for the Egon Hills, which have these cool rocks and host a lot of festivals and celebrations. Next, we have Niger. The capital is Minna, and the nickname for this state is the Power State. So this is the largest state by area, and as you can tell, it follows the Niger River. It has a ton of dams that supply power to Nigeria, including 2 of Nigeria's major hydroelectric power stations.
But it's also very rich in minerals like gold, tin, iron, and yes, even uranium.
It also has the largest national park in Nigeria, the Kainji National Park.
It is quite a diverse state, but the predominant group here are the Nupe peoples, famous for their abstract wooden carvings and masks and stools.
So next we have the Plateau State. The capital is Jos. This nickname for this state is Home of Peace and Tourism.
The state and capital are both named after the Jos Plateau, the highest interior part of the country, where many rivers are sourced like the Kaduna and the Gongola.
And it's famous for its unique landscape of green hills and large scattered boulders everywhere. Probably the most famous ones are the Washe Rock and the Binyam Rock.
Oh my god, my mic is here. Jeez. It's okay. FCT, Federal Capital Territory, capital Abuja, nicknamed the Center of Unity.
Keep in mind, this is not a state, but rather it's a federal territory, kind of like DC in the USA. And it's generally known for being quite, wealthy. And in 1991, it was officially labeled the new capital.
Before it became the capital territory, the land was originally inhabited by the Gwari people, and although the capital is diverse, Hausa is a more widely spoken language here.
Government buildings, landmarks.
The big deal. Now we reach the Northwest geopolitical region, also known.
Okay, so something that I would love to learn more about from that region is the mass weddings. Like, what exactly is it? Is it several people getting married at one time? Is it like a coming to age ceremony, wedding? Like, I want to know more about that part.
Yeah, mine was a stone size soap.
Oh, yeah.
Was it? Did I say that correctly? Stone size soap architect that they
Yeah.
created, and it's the biggest one. I would like to see more about that and how they came up with this idea to have so many different, features and designs. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now, one thing we have been learning about African cultures is that their cultures are like ancient.
Facts.
You know,
exactly.
so they've been doing it
Yeah.
for generations upon generations upon generations. So let us know about that as well.
Yeah.
Request form.
as Hausa land.
Yeah, so the first one is Jigawa. The capital is Dutse. Nickname, the New World.
Okay, so now that we're in northern Nigeria, things are going to get a little bit more Muslim-y, and this is kind of like one of the 12 states of Nigeria that are governed by Sharia
Why they
law.
gonna call
And
us?
they have
Yeah.
5 traditional emirates or sarki that are in this area.
They're famous for the Dutse rock range. It has the Habude cave paintings in Birnin Kudu, and they also have the Kokawa and Dambe festivals. A lot of cool things happening here. They
Listen,
do
this
wrestling and
region.
boxing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Next state is Kaduna,
okay.
capital Kaduna, nicknamed the Center of Learning, as they have lots of centers for education, most notably the...
Ahmadu Bello University.
There you go.
So this used to be the old capital of northern Nigeria under the British rule.
They are the largest textile manufacturing center in Nigeria, and they have a branch of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which plays a huge important part of their economy.
They have the beautiful Zazal Palace, home to the emir of the former Zazal Emirate.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah. Next up, we have Kano. The capital of this is also named Kano. The nickname is the center of commerce.
So this is like the kingpin final boss of northern Nigeria and the center of Hausa land.
Here, the famous and important Kumi market has been open since the 15th century.
Kano City is also the second largest city in Nigeria after Lagos, and it was the site of numerous kingdoms and empires, including the Kingdom of Kano and the Kano Emirate. Next state, Katsina, capital, Katsina, nickname, home of hospitality.
And it's known for the Katsina Emirate. It's one of the 7 true Hausa states. Today, you can see the ancient city that has a really cool royal palace.
In pre-Islamic times, they had a ruling system led by a Sarki, whom was like a king, and
Okay.
they produced a lot of peanuts and animal skin hides.
So next
Okay.
up, we have Kebbi,
Can't
the
go wrong with
capital is
that.
Benin Kebbi, land of equity.
The largest groups here are the Fulani, Hausa, and Zarma peoples that are said to be the descendants of the ruling class of the Gao and Songhai empires, and in such have a closer connection to the people of Niger.
This area is pretty arid and dry with a Sahelian landscape, but despite all this, they have a huge fishing culture for river and lake fish.
Most notably, the huge Argungu festival that happens every
yeah,
year
yeah.
in the Sokoto River. It involves a fishing frenzy, and it has canoe racing, wrestling,
Big
swimming
fish.
competitions, along with
You see
music
it?
and
Yeah.
cultural showcases. It's a cool thing. It's a big deal.
Next up, we have Sokoto, capital of Sokoto. The nickname is Seat of the Caliphate.
It was the seat of the Sokoto Caliphate, the most influential caliphate that existed in the north part of Nigeria between the 19th and 20th centuries after the Hausa kingdoms were defeated in the Fulani Wars.
Therefore, this place is predominantly Fula or Fulani with Zarma and Tuareg languages. And in addition, they have a sultan, and today he's considered a spiritual leader amongst the Nigerian Muslims.
Zamfara, capital Gusau, nickname Farming is Our Pride.
Zamfara was another
we flipping
side of
through
the
the pages.
old original Hausa kingdom.
Now, they used to have many old capitals like Birnin Zamfara and Anka, but during the British colonial times, Gusau was actually an important commercial center and hub with the roads and rail networks passing through them, so they made it their capital.
This land is arid with baobab trees and large rock outcroppings like Mount Kwatakarshi.
Now we go to the northeast region. This is where it gets dry,
Hold up,
mountainous,
wait a
and...
minute. You know what's interesting?
What you got?
We always hear about the Igbos.
Yeah.
Where they at? Where they live at? I haven't heard them say nothing about them yet.
We ain't done yet. Because
Okay.
they literally going through every single thing.
I
You know
would
what I'm
have
saying?
thought that they would have been in the southwest region.
Oh, okay. I see why you say that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Next, we have Adamawa. The capital is Yola, nicknamed the Land of Beauty.
This is one of the mountain states as it borders Cameroon on the Mandara and Mambila mountain ranges.
And traditionally, the state used to be a subordinate kingdom under the Sokoto Sultanate and led by an emir figure known as Lamido, who still lives to this day.
Famous for the only other UNESCO inscribed site in Nigeria, the Sukur Cultural Landscape, which has ruins and it's these really cool
nice.
three sister rocks.
And an extra
Wow.
fun fact, many of the tribes like the Margi or the Bachama have women that do this cool performance in spherical bowls and baskets on their head.
Next one, Bauchi, capital Bauchi, nickname Pearl of Tourism.
Yeah, and just like Adamawa, they had a Sokoto Sultanate subordinate kingdom called the Bauchi Emirate, and it has a really cool palace with colorful designs on the outside. So Bauchi is famous for their very intricately patterned designs, like the embroidered caps and their gowns known as the Babariga, and even Even on the walls of the tombs of Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Nigeria's first and only prime minister before they became a republic.
Borno, capital Maiduguri, nickname Home of Peace.
The most internationally bordered state, bordering Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, and is also the only part of Nigeria that touches what's left of Lake Chad. And unlike other parts of Nigeria, this place was once part of the Kanem Empire, which evolved into the Borno Empire, which is where the state gets its name from.
The descendants of said empire and largest ethnic group here are the Kanuri people, which is also the 5th largest ethnic group in Nigeria.
And you know, the sad part about this state is that this was the epicenter of the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. And although a lot of this conflict has since been subsided, some of it still lingers into the small pockets to this day.
Gombe, capital Gombe, nickname Jewel of the Savannah.
So Gombe is like the northeastern state that tries to stay out of the drama. Yeah, and Gombe City was labeled as the friendliest place to do business in Nigeria by the World Bank yearly appraisal in 2021 and 2023 due to their excellent infrastructure, stability, transparency, regulations, and economic opportunity.
They have even initiated numerous environmental preservation projects like planting 4 million trees to fight deforestation. It's a lot of good stuff happening.
I know Borno is called the home of the peace, but maybe Gombe should get the
Yeah, they're very peaceful here.
Yeah.
Taraba, capital Jalingo, I like that name. Nickname Nature's Gift to the Nation.
Here in the south, you can find some of the best mountains, including the tallest peak in Nigeria, Chapawadi.
And this place is said to be the Bantu cradle, where the Bantu peoples that have spread throughout all of Africa may have originated.
There are about 77 tribal groups, but the largest here are the Mumuye, the Mambilia, the Jukun, where the Fula are in the north.
And there are so many traditional festivals here. Here's just a list of some of them. There's like a yam festival, there's a hunting festival. There's even a lot of performances by these women that do hoop dancing. It's crazy. Check it out.
Yo, when it comes to festivals in Africa, you won't see one that's the same. You won't see a pattern that's the same. How they do things is so unique and it's so different, but yet also cool. It's like you get lost in the culture of that because it's mad different. Mad different.
I love watching the festivals.
We have Yobe. The capital is Damaturu. The nickname for this state is the Pride of the Sahel.
It's a dry, arid livestock haven. They even have, disputably, the largest cattle market in all of West Africa at Potiskum.
Yeah, and it's famous for the Dafuna canoe, the oldest boat in Africa and second oldest in the world. Speculated to be over 8,000 years old and was used at a time when Lake Chad had extended all the way over there.
They also have the Tulo Tulo Oasis, which looks awesome, and the Ngazar Ngamu, which was a former capital of the Borno Empire. A lot of interesting things here. Now we reach the South region, aka the Niger Delta region. Things are going to go from dry to wet and more Christian-y. Keep in mind, large parts of this region were once part of the Biafra separatist movement that declared independence from Nigeria for 3 years shortly after independence, which caused the Nigerian Civil War. That's the basic thing you need to know, but let's just jump into the states, okay?
Yeah. First one here is Akwa Ibom. The capital is Uyo. The nickname is Land of Promise. So this is like Nigeria's secret special powerhouse that is now trying to give Lagos its run for its money.
It is small but heavily populated and is one of the most economically productive areas in Nigeria.
Because it produces the most oil out of any state in Nigeria. Malls, high-rises, a new stadium has even been built.
And historically, many clan communities and city-states were here, like the Akwa Apa and Ibom kingdoms, hence where the name of the state comes from. Bayelsa, capital, Yenagoa, nickname Glory of All Lands.
So this is the core of the Niger River Delta, and it enters into the Gulf of Guinea.
They have the smallest population out of all the states in Nigeria as well.
And like its neighbors, it is susceptible to annual flooding, so the people here have to adapt.
River and boat transportation is much more important, as it is difficult to build roads here, especially because it's like kind of swampy and there's marshy mangroves.
They have the first site where oil was first discovered in Nigeria, and they have the largest gas reservoir in the country as well.
The Cross River State, capital Calabar, nickname the People's Paradise.
This is named after the Cross River that goes through here from Cameroon, so not part of the Niger River Delta.
The capital of Calabar is a significant historical seaport city that has been operating for centuries, and it was the site of many firsts for Nigeria, such as the first city with a hospital, post office, paved roads, and it was labeled Nigeria's cleanest city.
And it's heavily forested with lush and green mountains, and with some of the most biodiverse areas in Nigeria.
And here you can find strange Ikom monoliths that were like these mysterious volcanic stone carvings that are thought to be over 1,800 years old.
Next, we have Delta. Capital is Asaba. Nickname of Delta is the Big Heart.
So prior to independence, there were many kingdom states in this area like the Wari and the Agbor kingdoms, and this was the only place that had been under French rule for a short period of time from 1903 to 1930.
Yeah, they're predominantly inhabited by the Yoruba Isoko people that have lots of cultural sites like the Chief Koko Nana Palace and the Dema Nwankwo edifice. So now we have Edo. The capital is Benin City. Nickname, Heartbeat of the Nation.
Now this is a history state, home to the former Benin Kingdom, which wasn't even geographically in what is now Benin, but Nigeria. They have quite a few traditional rulers, but the most notable one is the Oba of Benin.
The Edo people are famous for their bronze figurines made by artisans that have been taught the technique from generations. And these figurines are prized not only in Nigeria, but around the world.
The River State, capital Port Harcourt, nickname the treasure base of the nation.
Yeah, this place used to be called the Oil Rivers Protectorate before joining the rest of Nigeria in the 19th century.
Then there was a quick period in the 60s where local leaders and tribal chiefs wanted to secede into what they called the Delta People's Republic, but Nigerian federal government officials stopped it.
And one of the reasons is because it is the commercial center for the Nigerian oil industry. Most of the activities is centered around Port Harcourt. This place is rapidly growing and urbanizing based on its economic importance. Yeah, and because of this industry, many Nigerians have moved in.
Finally, the Southeast region, sometimes called Igbo land, home
I
to
sure
there you
knew
go.
about to
There
say
you
it.
Southeast. Okay.
So you mean to tell me the Igbos are only, I don't know, but mainly in the Southeast.
Hmm.
But they are one of the groups that we hear about the most.
The most. The Yoruba is a big one as well. It's a
And
big
the
group.
Hosa.
And the Hosa.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's ending this one with a bang though. Okay. Let's see what he
Oh,
got.
don't say that now.
See, it was well. It works because you was asking,
Okay.
and because we didn't get them at all, and it was mentioned last. Last is not bad. Last is also gonna be, ending with a bang. So I think that's pretty dope.
Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. That's interesting though, because we have seen the Hosa in other areas. We have seen the Fulani in other areas. The Yoruba, maybe. I think I remember it being in other areas. Why is the Igbo mainly in this place? Interesting.
the Igbo people, the third largest group of people in Nigeria.
So next we have
Very
Abia.
gorgeous.
Capital is Umaya. The nickname is God's own state. So fun fact, Abia is actually an acronym drawn from the four most populous regions: Aba, Bende, Isikwato, and Afikpo. So this place has a lot of sites like the Amakawaka Hollow Tree, the Museum of Colonial History in Aba.
And there's lots of cultural traits that can be witnessed here, like the Akwete cloth waving, the Ohafia war dance, and the Ekpe festival in Umaya. There's so many cool things.
Next up, we have Anambra. Capital is Akwa. The nickname is called Light of the Nation,
This is like the capital of the Delta and the capital of Igbo land.
and even has the largest market in Africa in terms of geographical size and volume of goods.
Although the majority of peoples here are Igbo, many people even from all over Africa have moved in here, and today it's regarded as the city with the most African languages spoken, even more than Lagos.
Historically, they were under the kingdom of Onitsha, and every year the Boros hold the Ofala festival in
Look at this
October.
festival.
And they wear those really cool big ass hats with colored feathers. It's really
What's that
awesome.
about?
The next state
Yo.
here we have is Ebonyi. The capital of this is
Ofola Festival. We're gonna need more information about that one.
Yes. I really hope y'all capturing the notes
Yeah.
and sending it into our request form because
Yeah.
we want to know what these things are all about. We want to know the history and the culture. Y'all know.
Big facts.
Kaliki. The nickname of this state is Salt of the Nation.
This is one of the few non-petroleum based Delta states in the South, and agriculture is their main industry.
Yeah, and they have huge salt deposits and Oposi and Uburu salt lakes.
That's where the nickname comes
We
from,
have-
salt of the earth. And even though they're small with a very small population, they actually not only have a small internationally operating airport, but it's like one of the coolest looking airports in the world. It has like these colorful
Legoland.
patterns and geometric
Yo.
shapes. It looks like a child's toy box. I love that airport.
Next up, we have Enugu. The capital is also also called Enugu. Its nickname is the Coal City State.
This place was historically a central part of the medieval kingdom of Nri and Aro Confederacy, important rulership periods that date back all the way to the 9th and 15th centuries, respectively.
So during colonial times, it was the capital of the southern province, and the British really invested heavily into this place, and which is why till today you can see a lot of Georgian-style buildings in the capital.
And during the controversial secessionist times, it was also the capital of the claimed state of Biafra during the Nigerian Civil War.
As the name alludes, the state is famous for its coal mining, as well as other minerals like iron ore, limestone, fine clay, and marble. It's a very earthy state.
And finally, the last state, Imo, the capital Owerri, nicknamed the Eastern Heartland / the Land of Hope.
Their flag is like a backwards French flag. They were also part of the Kingdom of Nri and the Aro Confederacy.
It was the site of the end of the Nigerian Civil War, with the federal forces enacting Operation Tailwind, which took over the state.
Palm oil production is huge here, and they have the Ivari Cultural Center that showcases the culture of the Igbo people and their kingdom.
So that was all 36 states of Nigeria. That was
Crazy.
a lot. Oh my goodness. So, Bosun, what do you have to say in conclusion, Nigeria? What do you have to say?
You know, Nigerians are very proud people. They would love to see this video. So everybody that's from Nigeria watching this video, I hope there's something that you have even learned. For people that don't know much about Nigeria, I'm happy you've had a lot to learn during this video. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you for being in this video, man.
Yes, and you know, shout out to all my Nigerian people in Nigeria, the people in the diaspora, and we continue to never carry last.
All Africans know you guys.
Yeah.
You have a big name for yourself. Hey guys, just want to say a huge thank you to our sponsor for this video.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna
Pilot.
Alright, we're gonna stop right there, man. Make sure you guys go and check his channel out. Don't let this be lost files. This was a lot to go through, a lot to sort through, and I hope that everybody got information from it today. And we have a couple requests that we sent out to y'all, so y'all can send it back to us, because we want to know more about certain locations, certain festivals, certain tribes, diving deep into the culture. Yeah, 100%.
Yes. Let us know which region of Nigeria are you tuning in
Yes,
from.
comment section.
Let us know your ethnic group. Let us know about you. Let us know why people should come to your region.
Facts.
Let us know. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.